Hello, hi aerial yoga sisters. Welcome to my rooftop here in India. I'm in Mysore, India, and today it is Sunday and it is also Guru Purnima. And on this day we honor all of our teachers and our gurus and all of those who have helped us on our path, on our life, on our soul journey. And it's also a full moon lunar eclipse, so there's a lot of really powerful energy in the air right now, in the atmosphere, and I just wanted to pop on here, do a quick live, and see how everyone is doing, and just show you a little bit more of my life here in India. So here in Mysore, this is the birthplace of Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga, where I've been here going on 7 months now. And actually today we are back on a semi-lockdown because of the rising of cases of coronavirus. And so yeah, just starting this week, we're not allowed to leave our house on Sundays, and we have a daily curfew where we can't leave after 6 p.m. And honestly, I'm kind of okay with it. I mean, obviously it's definitely a drag in some ways, but during lockdown on India, it's a lot quieter, so I can come up here on my rooftop and make a video without a bunch of cars or traffic, passing by. And so for me, that's really a blessing. Now, of course, we still have like nature and other noises of India, and there's definitely still people roaming the streets sometimes, hawking whatever they're selling. I've heard the men walking around yelling. So yeah, you may still hear some noises of India in the background. It's sort of like my friend said the other day, there's always this it's like there's constant white noise in India, and sometimes when you've been here long enough, you sort of just get used to it after a little while, although other times it can be really frustrating when there's like a dog barking across the street or people washing their dishes outside of your house and you want to meditate or teach a yoga class or something, and but these are such great experiences for us to learn from, because it's, during these moments where we're challenged and these moments that are not even such a big deal that we can come back to ourselves, we can come back to our practices, whether it's yoga or meditation, maybe even something we've learned in the aerial yoga hammock, to remain centered and calm. So it looks like I have one person on here, so feel free to drop a comment, say hi, let me know who you are, let me know where you're at. So yeah, this is my aerial yoga space that I have up here on my rooftop, and I'm going to film a video today for my aerial yoga teacher training. And I just ran my first online Rising Wings aerial yoga teacher training last month, and it was a huge hit. Everyone super loved it. And hey JC, nice to see you. So yeah, I just wanted to pop on here and talk a little bit about Rising Wings Aerial Yoga and what it is. So I created Rising Wings Aerial Yoga in 2018, and I taught the course all over the world, and now I'm teaching it online. And so with Rising Wings Aerial Yoga, we use a double point hammock. So you can see my hammock here. It has 2 points right up at the top, and this allows us to create space and stability so we can practice yoga asana or yoga postures that perhaps we may know already, that we may love in our practice, and we can use the hammock for support and for guidance in our alignment, and also to go deeper into the poses. So for example, you can stretch your hamstrings and your splits a lot deeper. Hey Jen, nice to see you from Mexico. Awesome, I love Mexico. Miss those Latin vibes. I think I'm going to need, a vacation to another part of the world when I can finally get out of India. So I created Rising Wings Aerial Yoga as a form of therapy to heal myself and also to act as a bridge from more traditional Hatha and Vinyasa yoga and into the circus arts world, which I also come from and which I really love. And for a long time, I separated the two out. And then when I had an injury, I came to aerial yoga and it just became this like super therapeutic practice and it was really fun. And honestly, like the journey of my teaching is really similar to even the journey of my dance career, because for about 10 years, I was like an academic dancer. I was studying dance in high school and college, and I just became so serious about it. And I was like, I'm making art, you know? And then I found hula hooping. And when I found hula hooping, I remembered how much fun I have when I move my body. And so it's the same with aerial yoga. I'd been teaching yoga for so long and doing Ashtanga. And I mean, Ashtanga is still a serious practice and I still practice it here in Mysore. But aerial yoga reminds me that yoga can be fun and that, you know, the path to our own self-realization, it's a journey and we can have fun along the way. And it just reminds me to be lighthearted, to be compassionate with myself, and really allows me to move through a lot of stuck energy with the feeling of the beautiful silk fabric. So with that being said, I created it as this bridge between Hatha yoga postures and like the fun of circus arts. So Rising Wings Aerial Yoga is basically a synthesis of these two. So there's a lot of foundational yoga poses that you can use, ground-based asanas, so people can come in, you can come in, and things feel familiar. And then you take it up into the air and have more acrobatic moves and the flips and tricks. And so you can sequence a whole class and a whole practice moving from the ground up into the air, from the air back into the ground. And it's just so fulfilling, and I super love it. And it's been such a joy to share with women and even men around the world. Actually, here in India, I've taught quite a few courses. And but now, you know, as I ask myself, okay, what is Rising Wings Aerial Yoga to me? You know, I mean, of course, my definition of it has changed, you know, over the years and the times that, you know, that I've been working with it and practicing with it. And right now, you know, I've been grounded here in India for nearly 7 months. And so when I use my aerial hammock, you know, it reminds me of flight and how much I love to spread my wings and fly. And, you know, it just reminds me of this journey that I've been on and helps me to, just remember these feelings that I have inside of me, and you know, sort of just like transports me almost to like another dimension sometimes. I'm sure you other aerial yoga sisters can relate to that. So with that being said, I first set out to create my Rising Wings Aerial Yoga online course this year, and it was really a dream that I had for a long time. I always wanted to do it, but I was too busy traveling. You know, I never lived anywhere for longer than 5 weeks. And so last year, I usually film a lot of my content at Talala Retreat in Sri Lanka. That's been like one of my home resorts and retreat centers around the world. And I always go there and hang my hammocks and film my videos. And it's always like kind of funny because the main shala, there's like a pool right there and like rooms around it. And so people are always walking by and they see me like hanging from the hammock and they're like, oh, what is that girl doing? And people are always super curious about it. But sometimes when I've been filming my videos, I feel super funny and a little what's the word? Like unsure of myself, because you know, people are like walking by and I'm like making a tutorial on my hammock and I'm like talking to myself as I'm like going upside down and doing all of this different stuff in the hammock, and they're probably like, what is that crazy girl doing in there? But regardless, this is just a lesson in like getting over yourself and really tapping into your soul purpose and just doing what you came here to do, because in the end we have all of these little voices inside of our head that, just try to hold us back. And, you just have to move through that stuck energy. I feel like my face looks like really shaded, but that's okay. Otherwise, I'm going to be in the sun and have super squinty eyes, so that's okay. So first, originally my idea was I'm just going to create this online course. Normally I do a lot of teacher trainings, but I just wanted to, give the method that I've created out, to the world. But then lockdown happened. All my in-person teacher trainings were canceled. I had so many events. I was going to do a world tour, teach 2 courses in India, 3 in Thailand, a tour through Australia, workshops in Miami. Then I was moving to the Caribbean by, this time last month. All canceled. And I originally, I wasn't really sure about running a teacher training online because I'm so hands-on, and it's really important to me that there's, a high standard of safety in my teaching, because aerial yoga does come with an inherent risk to it. And, but, during lockdown here in India, I was thinking, okay, I have this online course that I'm creating. Let me just turn it into a teacher training. And how can I do this without, I didn't want to teach any live classes or, demonstrate anything live because I'm up here on my rooftop and there's not a very good Wi-Fi signal, and there's always like noises of India, and like the angle is a little bit weird. I do make videos up here. So I ran the first one. It was 25 hours, Yoga Alliance Continuing Education. And I finished editing all of the video content. And so really, whether you want to do the teacher training or you're just interested in the foundations course, I think there's really something for everyone, whether you just want to practice or whether you just want to teach. So, maybe you want to learn a ton of aerial yoga poses. Maybe you want to learn more about yoga. Maybe you want to refine what you already know when it comes to aerial yoga. Maybe you want to improve your inversions. Perhaps you want to gain more flexibility or strength in a different way that goes beyond your yoga mat, because a lot of ground-based yoga is really based on pushing strength, and with the aerial hammock you can develop pulling strength. So you can develop this different side of your muscles. Maybe you're just looking to gain more confidence. Maybe you want to develop your voice as a teacher. Maybe you're looking to master more flips and tricks and add that into your regimen. So the online course, it includes both of my aerial yoga manuals. So this is my foundations manual, which has all of the hatha and vinyasa yoga poses in it, as well as the basics of flips and tricks. That's really where you want to start. And then I also give you my advanced manual as an added bonus, which includes some more advanced hatha yoga poses using the hammock, as well as some really cool flips and tricks that I have learned from my teachers. Thank you. My aerial yoga teachers from around the world. I've studied in so many different countries aerial yoga, and it's just been like the coolest thing to see the explosion of this form, all over the world. But a lot of my teachers are actually from here in Asia, and yeah, I've been living in Asia for 1 year now. I haven't stepped foot outside of this continent, which has been interesting. So you get both of my manuals, and there are 13 video tutorials, which covers, there's like over 75 poses in the foundations manual. So the 13 videos, they cover all of the poses category by category, so you get all of the basics and you can learn on your own. And my students have really loved all of this like self-paced learning, to do it on their own time, because it gives them a sense of freedom when they have the time to go over the material. You also get 3 bonus class flows. And so one of them is just the foundations class, like here's the basics. There's also a backbending class and a flips class. So you have a nice variety of classes. When you take the teacher training, my next online live teacher training is happening August 1st through the 3rd. I'll pop all the links down below when I'm finished with this video to the course and the teacher training. You actually get 5 more classes. So you get 5 more 1-hour classes when you take the teacher training. So you get so much content in addition to this. Plus we will spend 15 hours live together going over the manual, doing practice teaching. If you have your hammock at home. If you don't have a hammock available to you at home, that's absolutely fine. We have other ways that you can make it up. And the way that I run this teacher training is you get a folder in a Google Drive and you can just upload all of your assignments and videos there. And it's actually really awesome to take a course like this because you can really up-level your technology skills and you can use some of the assignments to grow your social media, especially if you want to teach or just, grow your presence as an aerial yoga practitioner. And also something that makes this online course really unique is that I include a meditation and breathwork section. And so for me, this really just ties everything together to give it this holistic, well-rounded aerial yoga experience because, in the end, this is a yoga practice and we want to keep the thread of yoga running throughout what we're doing, no matter how much how many cool flips and tricks and acrobatics that we do, can we still remain mindful as we go through it? So I include 4 meditations and 6 breathwork practices, as well as a few articles that I've written for inspiration. So so that's a little bit about Rising Wings and my journey here in India. That's all that I have for you today. So if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments down below. Send me a DM if you want to connect in any of my social media channels. And I will see you all soon. Much love.